Hello again. This is your space, the social club, where we talk about issues of the social impact that arise every day. Once again, our dear sociologist Mayté accompanying us today. Welcome, Mayté. It's so great having you here again.
That's right, dear Jeser, and today we bring you a sensitive topic that touches our roots as Mexican. Go ahead with the presentation. Being indigenous today, a reflection on the day of the race. Mexico is among the 10 countries with the largest number of native languages. 68 languages are spoken, which have 364 variants and belong to 11 linguistic families, according to data from the National Institute of Indigenous Language.
To be indigenous today is still to remain in technological, labor, and social security marginalization. To be indigenous today is to be close to poverty and with the unconcentrated of being disappointed if our territories harbor some precious mineral for the business sector. To be indigenous today is to be discriminated uh, against by a society that has been culturally created by an ethnocentric individualism.
Being indigenous today is still living with countless obstacles in our daily lives. Conditions worsen if you are a woman, if you are of African descent, and it is even worse if your sexual orientation does not correspond to the canons of conservative morality. Mexico frequently appears as an illustrative country of the conditions that prevail in Latin America and represents a discriminatory and racist country. For years, the indigenous people participating in the space of social interactions mediated by the state institutions and in coexistence with its norms and laws but is in a situation of disadvantage, marginalization, and exclusion from this spaces, including the academic ones.
There are 5,000 social groups of ethnic origin with 370 millions of people who live in more than 70 countries distributed on 5 continents. Mexico is among the 10 countries with the largest number of native language. 68 languages are spoken, which have 3,064 variants and belong to 11 language families, according to that from the National Institute of Indigenous Language. The largest number of speakers are concentrated in the Nahuatl, Maya, Mixteco, and Zapoteco language, localized in the entities of Chiapas, Oaxaca, Veracruz, Puebla, Yucatan, and Guerrero. 68% of the total speakers are concentrated in the towns of southern Mexico.
A defender of Mexican cultural heritage, memory, and diversity, Leon Portilla points out that we are heirs to two great cultures of humanity, Europe, an old continent with a long history, and America, the New World. However, the course of the world system and humanity insist on ignoring this legacy, on in its case academics with valuable contributions to the explanation of the social phenomenon that constrain the ethnic sphere does not end up breaking with the logic of capital expansion.
In the context of globalization and the great lapse in technology and science, it continues to be evident that the different ethnic groups fail to be included in the development process of modernity, and when it comes to including them, he wants to grow them with laws that are not divergent from his own needs. Despite this constant harassment, the rural indigenous community have not lost their original character.
We can still appreciate in these groups their social dynamics, the authorities, their territorial delimitation, their normative system, the assemblies, the cosmogonies, their own logic. No? A rural indigenous community can range from a few hundred to approximately 2,000, 1,500 inhabitants, figures that are decreasing due to migratory flows. These rural towns do not escape from the great social phenomenon, globalization as a parasite that refuses to abandon to bear, does not stop stalking the indigenous communities.
Inside the indigenous territories, they have attempted to develop devastating infrastructure mega project not only for social relation, but also with a clear destruction of the environment. We can see it in Oaxaca with the hydroelectric plants, in Puebla with the gas pipelines.
We can conclude that only from the unity between poor communities and indigenous people and the workers of the city in alliance that they can confront the capitalist class, take power and build a new type of state and self-determination of native peoples can be achieved.
That's right, only with a powerful alliance of poor peasants, students, and residents, with the work at the head, can the attacks of the government of Busman be faced. To poor communities and indigenous people must look to the workers as a fundamentally all to achieve their demands because of their place in the reproduction of the capitalist system. They have the strength to defeat the capitalist. We are the original tones.
Those of us who possess the intellectual aptitudes comparable to any race, which, by the way, is a term already discarded by the social sciences, who, under a critical and self-reflective education, can completely erase from use the idea of being an inferior race or subject to the service of "Send you, yes, sir."
Well, here you have this very interesting topic. I hope you had a great time with us tonight. I say goodbye, not without first mentioning that every Friday night we have interesting current social topics with great guests like Mayté. Next Friday we are waiting for you with a theme that is currently driving us crazy: the day zero. Well, what is the day zero? The moment a place, country, state, city, or town runs out of water available for various use, we speak of day zero. According to the Water Society Observatory of El Colegio de México, if the amount of water that rain is the same as the width is grading in concession, day zero is reached. Well, I hope to have you here this coming Friday and don't miss this interesting topic. Thanks for being here and don't forget that we are your friends from Social Club.